Okey, tak apa, lepas ni tanya.
Sudah,
Okey,
Vika?
boleh?
Sudah.
Okay. For introduction, firstly, Langkawi, as we know, Langkawi is now one of the most popular tourist destination, rich with natural beauty, flora and fauna, and many. Secondly, Langkawi private tour was selected by the researchers to obtain the finding of the study conducted. Next, extrinsic motivation is defined as the tendency to perform an activity or task in either to obtain reward, either in physical or psychological from in the natural environment. For this study, extrinsic motivation is a factor of or trigger for an individual to perform a task to the maximum that comes from external factor, such as monetary rewards, fame, good grades, and prize. Next. We have a three problem statement. Firstly, political instability. A problem to the agency and the employees themselves as the private tour travel agency suffer losses to pay wages among their employees, which cause the intrinsic motivation of the employees to decrease and indirectly affect to the quality of their work. Secondly, safety aspect. The safety aspect is a state free from hazards, means of use and equipment that can reduce control or prevent accidents. And the terrorist threat will cause the tourist area to have no tourist arrival because security at the border and in the area is weak. And last, competition. There is a lot of competition between travel agency operating in Langkawi, and it costs their half of the travel agency that have a lot of profits and vice versa.
For research objective and research question, there are 3 questions for research objective and 3 questions for research question. For research objective, first is to investigate the factor of political instability that influence the intrinsic motivation among employers on travel agency at the Langkawi private tours. Second is to investigate the factor of safety aspect that influence intrinsic motivation among employers on travel agency at the Langkawi private tours. And thirdly, to investigate the factor of competition that influence intrinsic motivation among employers on travel agency at the Langkawi private tours. For this question, the first is there any relationship between the factor of political instability with intrinsic motivation among employers on travel agency at the Langkawi private tours? Second, is there any relationship between the factor of safety aspect with intrinsic motivation among employers on travel agency at the Langkawi private tours? And lastly, is there any relationship between the factor of competition with intrinsic motivation among employers on travel agency at the Langkawi private tours? For significance of study, researchers identifying the factor that cause the influence of intrinsic motivation among employers. It can also be used as sources for future research because it has genuine and reliable information. For travel company, it has to provide some guidance to travel company in identifying the characteristics that keep employers engaged during work, leisure time, and even calm time. For staff in travel agency, we want to assist staff at the travel agency in improving performance and service while also retaining motivation. For literature review, political instability is defined as the possibility of the dissolution of a government due to conflict or competitive pressure among political parties. Safety is a situation in which threats and conditions that lead to bodily, psychological, or material harm are regulated in order to protect people's health and well-being. Competition is a term used to describe competition between businesses that provide identical goods and services with the goal of increasing revenue, profitability, and market share. For intrinsic motivation is reward-driven behavior, is a type of operant conditioning.
Next, we go to the research framework. As you can see, we have three independent variables, which is political instability, safety aspect, and competition. For the dependent variables, intrinsic motivation. Next, we go to the hypothesis. There are three hypotheses, which is hypothesis 1, there is a significant relationship between political instability with extrinsic motivation among travel agency employees in Langkawi Private Tour. Hypothesis 2, there is significant relationship between safety with intrinsic motivation among travel agency employees in Langkawi Private Tour. The third hypothesis is there is a significant relationship between competition with extrinsic motivation among employees at Langkawi Private Tour. Next, we go to the research methodology. For the research design, we use quantitative method. For population ensemble, population size is 200 employees who is working at the Langkawi Private Tour. The sample size is 132 workers at Langkawi using Griffiths and Morgan 1970. The sampling technique is non-probability sampling method, which is convenient sampling approach. The instrument is questionnaire with 7-point Likert scale ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree. Data analysis technique is descriptive analysis, reliability analysis, Cronbach alpha, and Pearson correlation analysis. Next, we go to the result demographic profile. As you can see, for all the profile respondent, we have total 132 frequency. Next, we go to the descriptive analysis. For political instability, the highest mean score is 4.42, the lowest is 4.32. For the safety aspect, the highest is 4.55 and the lowest is 4.45. The competition, the highest mean is 4.47 and the lowest is 4.31. For the knowledge about intrinsic motivation, the highest is 4.50 and the lowest is 4.38.
Probability analysis of Pearson correlation analysis. You can see in the table there are three independent variables, three cases. The political instability indicates 0.82. The second safety effect 0.94. Last is competition with 0.73. All three independent variables use only independent variable with only one case with intrinsic motivation in case 0.01 also use one item. Table to show there are three variables that have three positive relationships in one instability indicate are 0.624 moderate relationship. Two the indicate 0.72 moderate and competition indicate 0.70, which is high relationship. Next, that hypothesis and correlation analysis. Hypothesis 1 is positive relationship and political stability, intrinsic motivation. Indicate the right relationship. Hypothesis is positive relationship with between safety aspect and intrinsic motivation. So indicate moderate relationship, and hypothesis 3 is relationship between competition and intrinsic motivation in high relationship. Overall, all hypotheses are supported. Conclusion: among the that have dominant effect and income distribution is competition toward private to Langkawi, that followed by safety aspect and political instability. When the political instability and safety indicating moderate relationship and while competition indicating high relationship. Overall, the research has achieved the objective and factor that intrinsic motivation among employees toward private Langkawi. Thank you.
That's all from us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to group T44. Cik Farhanan ada nak komen?
Ada. Tapi mungkin Kak Ani nak start dulu ke?
Okay. So, congratulations for this presentation. Okay, boleh saya tengok apa objektif dia tadi? Objektif. Dia I'm not really clear on this. Tapi you boleh discuss balik dengan you punya supervisor. Is it this is the way how we write the objective? Because I think normally we should have the link between research question and also research objective. But in this ni you macam mana nak cakap the way you write this ni lah RO dengan RQ kan. Okay, so kalau RO to investigate the factors of political instability, but then for the research question is there any relationship? So I think mungkin Cik Farhanan boleh bagi second opinion. Normally bila kita write tu normally lah kan, tapi yang ni you boleh bincang balik lah dengan supervisor. Mungkin ini adalah cara penulisannya, but normally I jumpa bila RQ tu is there any relationship, so dia punya objektif adalah to identify the relationship between political instability and apa-apalah. Faham tak? Okay, normally lah dia punya RO dengan RQ tu kita ada kesinambungan. Okay, lepas tu faham tak yang saya tanya ni? You boleh tak? You get the picture tak? Macam RQ tu bila is there any relationship between the factors kan? So normally we write the research objective like that like this to investigate to determine the relationship between political instability and apalah you punya DV tu. Okay?
Boleh Farah tambah ke?
Boleh Farah.
Alang-alang Kak Nim ni yang kita post itu. Okay. Dekat you punya research objective dan research question ni betul lah apa yang Madam Anim beritahu tadi. So you kena tengok kepada you punya research method you apa. Okay, kena balik pada research method you. Memang dari segi penulisan ada salah lah. Cumanya dekat you punya, kalau I tengok tadi, you punya method you guna correlation kan, up to correlation je kan. Tak ada regression ke apa kan? Betul tak?
Ya betul.
Tak ada kan? Okay, kalau you hanya
cuba tengok, cuba buka slide methodology.
Okay, kalau tengok kat situ, data analysis techniques, descriptive analysis, reliability analysis and then Pearson correlation. You hanya guna sampai correlation sahaja. Jadi back kepada you punya research objective tadi. Research objective tadi, pergi balik. Research objective Okay, so kalau tengok kat sini, correlation tu sebab kenapa kita guna correlation? Apa maksud correlation itself? Kita nak tengok relationship, betul tak? Adakah IV ni relate dengan dia punya DV ni macam tu? Okay, so you punya research objective you kena guna sama ada tu macam yang Madam Mani cakap tadi lah. Determine, tak ada lah factor-factor. So you kena sama, you kena synchronize dengan you punya research question. Kalau tadi is there any relationship? So kat sini you kena tengok, let's say to identify the relationship between the factors of political instability, and satu lagi grammar. Grammar kalau contoh you guna between, you tak boleh letak with, WITH, tak boleh guna with. Between dia punya pairing dia adalah and. Okay, between the factors of political instability and the extrinsic motivation. Macam tu bagi kat situ ayat kat situ. And then kat research objective letak relationship.
Boleh you are? Sebab kita nak synckan dengan you punya methodology dan juga finding nantilah. Because kalau kita tengok you punya finding pun hanya correlation. So bila correlation macam Madam Miss Farah bagi tahu kan, correlation tu biasanya relationship lah, betul tak? Ni. Sebab kalau
betul.
you guna, kalau kat sini kan, kalau ikut you punya research objective ni to investigate the factors, you sepatutnya buat regression. Tapi kita tak nampak result regression dalam you punya finding. Betul kan Cik Farah?
Betul. Satu lagi, I rasa you all dah clear kan pasal ni. Satu lagi, no question mark ya dekat research objective. Tak ada question mark. So mungkin tak ingat letak lah tu. Okay. Tak ingat buang. Okay, tak ingat buang. Tak ingat letak. Okay.
Lepas tu saya nak clarify juga. Yang ni okay, boleh dah kah? RQ dengan RA ni okay. So kami punya kami punya suggestion, since you punya method dan juga findings you macam tu, maybe you can amend, discuss balik lah kan dengan you punya supervisor, you can amend dekat RO lah. So actually it is apa orang kata big ni jugalah dah Cik Farah dah. Dia macam big, bukan mistake macam mana. Macam tu lah maksudnya dia ada ni lah, you kena betulkan untuk RO ni. Okay, supaya you jelas. Okay, lepas tu saya nak clarify yang you punya method, bukan you method tadi, population. Population you, are you sure 200 dia employees tu? Saya buat quick research tadi. Saya tengok, okay, dia kata, dia kata kalau kita tengok dia punya ni lah ya, dalam berapa ribu ni, 30,000 ni pekerja dalam bidang pelancongan. So, I think it is a quite big gap lah berbanding population yang you kata 200 employees ni. Ni 200 ni you dapat kat mana ni? You ada resource mana ni? 200 employees sahaja yang bekerja di Langkawi Private Tour. Boleh you bagi definition kepada employees yang bekerja dekat Langkawi Private Tour tak? What do you mean by
ni kat mana?
What do you mean by employees who is working at the Langkawi Private Tour? Siapakah orang-orang ini?
Kalau data ni siapa yang buat part ni and kat mana dapatkan data 200 employees ni? Mesti ambil kat somewhere kan? So baru you boleh determine you punya sample size tu.
Ada jawapan?
Kejap madam, kami bincang dulu.
Oh my god. Saya perlukan jawapan yang ni. Tak apalah mana-mana ada jawapan pun. Kalau nak tunggu bincang tu kita tunggu next session lah ya. Boleh saya dapatkan jawapan yang ni? Ada jawapan? Tak apa, forget it. Kalau tak ada jawapan. So actually population ni you tahu kan macam mana nak dapat. You have to identify. You have to determine betul-betul siapa yang you nak fokus. Let's say employees tu pekerja kan. Pekerja dekat Langkawi Private Tour. Siapa? You kena list out Langkawi Private Tour yang you maksudkan. Okay, whether it is a travel agency company ataupun siapa. Dan orang yang bekerja dengan travel agency company. Actually benda tu kalau itu sama macam orang kata memang kalau 200 tu macam tak logik tau. Sebab dekat Langkawi ni ada banyak travel agency. Okay. So kat mana yang you ambil benda ni 200 ni. You kena betul-betul ni tengoklah Sebab actually kita boleh tengok dekat Google ni pun memang keluar lah kan result dia. Tapi normally kita kena dapatkan benda ni biasanya lah dekat sumber yang sumber yang reliable. Jadi mungkin you boleh dapatkan daripada pejabat Kementerian Pelancongan Kedah ataupun you boleh dapat daripada Langkawi yang tourism tu. LADA. Okay. Jadi you kena betul-betul yang ni lah. Make sure you dapat betul-betul 200 employee ni. Sebab jangan salah ya. Jangan salah info. Okay, sebab benda ni dia ni lah etika kan. Jadi so pastikan you dapat untuk report nanti pastikan you betul-betul dapat berapa bilangan population yang tepat, and then good lah you boleh guna Crescent Morgan untuk dapatkan you punya sampel. Because kalau you salah population, you akan salah sampel. Bila you salah sampel, jumlah sampel yang sampling yang you ambil nanti mungkin tak betul lah. Okay, so hak tu nanti sebab you akan effect you punya analisis data. Okay, boleh ke?
Boleh, Madam.
Okay, ini lama dah saya bercakap tu, you ada explanation, tak habis bincang lagi. Okay. Lepas tu dekat analisis data. Okay, boleh buka dekat analisis data. Okay, reliability analysis ni untuk apa Why you put here benda ni? Reliability analysis together dengan result of Pearson correlation analysis. Please, siapa nak jawab ni? Kenapa you letak sekali reliability analysis? Apa fungsi reliability analysis ni? Ada jawapan?
Reliability analysis ni kesimpulan bagi jumlah converge alpha. Result of Pearson correlation analysis ni untuk kesimpulan bagi p-value bagi ketiga-tiga variable.
Okay, untuk reliability analysis, saya bagi info je lah kan. Reliability analysis ni actually adalah untuk kita menguji your questionnaire tu reliable dan valid untuk kamu buat dalam actual research. Maksudnya kamu kan ada beberapa soalan kan, beberapa section soalan. Bila you buat soalan ni awak buat sendiri ke awak ambil orang punya? You adapt ataupun you buat baru?
Buat sendiri, Madam.
Buat sendiri. Maksudnya ayat-ayat tu kamu buat sendiri.
Iya.
Ambil kat mana ayat-ayat tu? How you determine your question tu lah.
Di Google, Madam.
Google tu maksudnya ambil orang punya lah. You kena jelas you ambil orang punya ke you buat sendiri?
Ambil orang punya, Madam.
Okay. Bila you ambil orang punya, so you kena start lah. You ambil daripada siapa-siapa tu. Okay, bukan salah pun ya. Bukan kesalahan dalam research ni bila you ambil soalan orang punya. Cuma, bila you ambil soalan tu daripada orang punya ke, you buat sendiri ke, you kena test soalan ni kepada orang yang tepat. Contoh, kalau you buat soalan pasal agama, you nak test dekat, contoh soalan pasal elektrik lah. ataupun soalan pasal apa engineering, you bagi soalan tu kepada student tadika. Valid ke tak?
Tidak, madam.
Tidak kan? Itu sebab kita buat reliability analysis. You kena ambil soalan you, lepas tu you test dekat orang yang tepat lah. Okay, jadi orang tu akan check grammar dan sebagainya. Kalau soalan you valid, barulah you buat actual test dekat yang tadilah employee yang you nak identify tu. Okay. Kita bukan saja-saja nak analisis reliability ni. Normally reliability analysis ni you ambil daripada pilot study yang you buat. Jadi dia punya bilangan N tak akan sama. Okay. Kalau actual analysis mungkin 132. Tapi masa you buat yang reliability analysis ni 30 je. Faham tak? Nanti you konsak balik dengan you punya supervisor why you buat reliability analysis tu. Okay? Sebab tu saya tanya kenapa you letak sekali. Okay? Jadi reliability analysis ni adalah untuk measure sama ada soalan awak tu valid dan reliable untuk digunakan dalam actual research. Okay? And then you tengoklah nilai-nilai dia. Mungkin dah ada dekat explanation tu dalam you punya thesis. Cuma itu yang kita nak share lah. Okay, it is bukan benda yang sama untuk kamu letakkan reliability analysis dan juga Pearson correlation ni. Faham tak? Dia kena ada step dia. Mula-mula reliability analysis kan, biasa kalau student saya minta dia buat reliability analysis ni dekat bawah metodologi lah. Dekat chapter 3. Okay? Boleh?
Boleh, madam.
So nanti kenapa p-value tu 0.6, 0.6, 0.7? Kenapa you pilih p-value tu? Sebab Pearson correlation lah. Betul kan? Okay, significant berapa ni? Correlation awak ni dia punya tu dekat berapa? 0.1 ke? 1 ke? Significant dia.
0.01, madam.
0.01. 0.01. So you dapat p-value 0.6 semua ni lah. Yang ni ada discussion dia tadi kan? Okay. So 14. Ni pun saya tak ni juga. Tak jelas juga. Okay, nombor cuba buka yang discussion. Oh, 1. Okay, conclusion dia. Okay, thank you daripada saya. Cik Farah ada nak tambah apa-apa? Cik Farah, ada ke?
Okay, sorry, boleh buka dekat Chrome Bash Alpha. Yang lain mungkin Kak Ani dah sentuh. Okay, Chrome Bash Alpha tadi. Okay, kalau tengok dekat mana? Kalau tengok yang figure 0.9 something like macam ni kan, 0.9. You kena semak balik you punya questionnaire. Kalau dia tinggi sangat, dia memang excellent. But you have to be careful. Sama ada soalan ni mungkin juga dia boleh jadi repetitive. Maksudnya soalan yang berulang. Okay. So dia jadi tak ni lah. Tak reliable lah, tak valid lah soalan tu. So kalau tak sama, tak apalah. Okay, itu je. I rasa untuk semua ni overall, you punya slide memang cantik. Cuma mungkin ada dari segi konten tu kurang sikit lah. Okay, dari segi konten tu macam yang tadi lah. Yang dah di-mention oleh Madam Anin juga. Okay, so you boleh semak balik lah dengan you punya SV. Okay. Okay, I rasa tu je on my side.